Alright, so today I'm going to attempt to do some stuff with my exhaust. I want to cut some pie cuts and maybe get them tacked together. I gotta go to the welding store, S.J. Smith, and get some argon and maybe some solar flux if they got that on the shelf, because stuff I ordered is going to be a couple days later than I want it to be, and I'd like to get something done today. So that's what I'm going to try to do, is just get moving forwards on the exhaust. Okay, so I got the welding table cleaned off, and I'm going to make a mark and use a marker and make a line. I've been watching videos on how to make pie cuts, and so I'm going to make a line on one side and then make a line on the opposite side. Then I'm going to put it in a bandsaw and cut it 4.5 degrees one way and then flip it to get the 4.5 degrees the other way. Well, I managed to wipe a lot of it off on the other side while I was marking the other side. Wish I had a better marker. Alright, now I got the lines marked on the pipe, and I figured out a way to keep the pipe level. And now I gotta mark it at 1.5 inches on this, so that I know where to stop the line when I turn it 180 degrees. Alright, so I believe I got the saw set at 5 degrees, or 4.5 degrees. It's not really that accurate back there, so whatever it is, it's going to be, I guess. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to clamp it and try to make my first cut. Well, the blade that came with it only got through 20 pieces and it went dull. That's disappointing. Alright, they're all deburred. And I like this set the best, so it's got the thinner line. This set is quite a bit thicker. I figured out that if I set that stop up, then I just kind of eyeball it and back it up. It didn't jump in the saw when it broke free, and I can get it thinner. So I got two sets here. If I'm successful, If I'm successful welding these, I'll be surprised because it'll be my first try. But then I won't have to cut more if I can get these to work without having to start over. That'd be nice. And I'd have to go get a new blade if I don't get these on the first shot. So, it's gonna make a pretty tight elbow. Gotta get it tacked together and see, but I gotta go to the store. I gotta go to the store first and get some argon. And hopefully they got some solar flux. And I can get moving on this. I practiced a little bit on this spare stuff to tack it together. And I think I got it where I'm not going to blow through. So I'm going to try and tack two of these together. My marks disappeared. So I got to make sure I clock them perfect before I tack them. That looks pretty good. What do? I blow through the first try and the second try. Perfect. Oh, what a pain. And they're hot. Stop pressing the button. Wasting gas. Keep missing. Great. Fucking regulator's fucked up. Finally. Where's my gloves? Need more hands. Yay! Got it! About damn time. Yay! That's barely on there. I had to turn off that pulsing because it was messing me up. Tacking. Getting hot. Hard to hold on to. Alright, it's cooled down a little bit. Try it some more. I think that one's clocked right. Fuck that one all up. Jesus. V-band on, but it's slightly smaller, or the pipe might be slightly out of round. This definitely isn't clocked very perfectly. If I could just get a marker that worked. Permanent my ass. Probably should have started like this. It would have held it for me. I live and learn, I guess. That's what I'm doing.
living and learning.
Alright, forgive my crappy looking tack welds. I struggled a little. You can see them up close now. Got some holes to fill. But this is the angle, or the room I seem to have. The radiator is in where it's supposed to be. This is the most clearance at that angle, coming straight down. And that's where it's sitting as far as the bottom of the car. And I'm thinking about leaving it like that and then clocking these and making another elbow to sweep it down this way, and it'd drop down below the bumper a little bit, because another one of these would drop it probably down to here, but it would sweep it this way. And that's what I'm thinking. Or I could turn it a little bit and make that sweep faster, but the more I turn it, the closer it gets to the elbow that's going to be here, whether it's rubber or metal, I don't know. Let's see, that's the most clearance. And then, but that might be more convenient. And then if I put these at the right angle, it almost, one more or two more would point it right out the side. I put one or two more pie pieces on it, sitting like that. Okay, so this 90 leaves about an inch right there. And then with the fittings I got this 45 here, and it kicks it down, and then comes to a 90, and then a 90, and then I should be able to cut the hose there, and it's dropping down a little bit below the bumper here, like that. I might be able to turn this up a little bit, just a little bit more. And get that tied in like that. And then there should be room, hopefully, for the fans. And that'll be tied into the hose like that. It's kind of weird looking. But if I did a 90 here, it was too close to make the fitting back up again. So I don't know, I might just stick with that for now. Okay, so the plan with this exhaust, after, oh, I don't have to do it now, but I'll tie this in right here. But the plan with the exhaust is to kick it back over this way from here to there. Since I got it partially turned, I'm only a couple different angles away from turning this straight and going straight out the fender. Now, if I kick the radiator in, see that much, I have to figure out how to mount it, but it makes this hose thing much simpler, just from that elbow to this elbow, and then put this hose in right here and goes up there. That seems like a good plan, but I wanted to avoid it. But it sure does look a lot cleaner, even though the radiator's tilted. The hose is a lot cleaner of a route. I decided to move the radiator now that I know where the exhaust is going to be before I finish the exhaust. This was the condenser bracket, and what I did was I took them off, I took it off the driver's side and flipped it over and put it on the passenger side, and it bolts in. Okay, so that's flipped over because it used to sit on the driver's side like this. I'll show you. So it used to sit right here like this to support the condenser, and I flipped it over. Well, actually it was on this side. It sat here like this. Anyway, I flipped it over and put it over here, and it still uses the original bolt hole, and it's gonna support the radiator when I lean it in. So the plan is to get this welded up and put this, which was a radiator cushion before, right there. I'm gonna drill a hole for that little knob to go in, and I'm gonna set that there, and then the radiator is gonna set on this. Then I might box this in. Might go ahead and box that in. I want to test fit it first. Well, I'm out here in my robe at 20 to 12, and I think I've figured out, and these welds aren't pretty, they're overcooked, obviously, and they suck a lot, but I've been managing to actually run beads. This is pretty hot still, so I can't turn it over. Those are my tacks, and some of them are really crappy. Look at that. I've been filling holes like that, like this one. I've been filling that stuff. And the trick was, I think for me, I couldn't see. I've been using these. These I use to cut with the torch. And the amperage isn't that high on this. I'm probably, I think I got it set at 45, but I'm flexing the throttle so much that I think I'm normally around 25, and I push it up to maybe 30 when I want to melt something in that didn't go right. And I don't know, I might be able to actually finish this. I mean, it's not going to be no professional purdy thing, but I might be able to get this thing sealed up, and so that's encouraging. It's still hot. It's ugly, especially the inside. Look at that, because I didn't wait for the flux, because I saw some videos that said that you don't really have to have it, it's just ugly, and boy is it ugly. I might get it's pretty open. I might get a grinder in there or something and clean that up. The outside is just as ugly, but they resemble beads. And I mean, the fitment on this really sucked, so I mean, I thought I did pretty good on it, considering that this is my first try. I know they're hot. Some of them are a little tall and some of them are a little flat. It's nowhere near nice, but I think that will do the trick. It'll do the job, especially since it's not going to be on the side that the sensor's on. All it has to do is blow out the driver's side, because I'm going to put the oxygen sensor on the passenger side. So as long as I smooth that out in the inside, you know, to get rid of some of the, you know, restriction it might cause, I think I'll be okay.
Alright, it's been 2 days and I wanted to put something out there. It's a little embarrassing. I was welding, and you saw earlier I said I'm using these glasses and I can see really good. Well, I could see really good, and I could put the welds in and I could see the puddle and everything. I was wearing this hood, this Harbor Freight hood right here. That's what I was using, and I had it turned all the way down to 9. And I figured, well, that's 9, I can't see nothing, you know. I was welding really thin stuff there, and so I was like, well, I got these torch glasses, they're a 6, and so I tried those and I could see really good, and I didn't feel like I was having any issues with brightness. I even took them off between welds and looked around, and I wasn't seeing like white or whatever, you know, from, you know, when you look at something bright, you can kind of tell that you was looking at something too bright. Couldn't really tell. So I finished that piece. Well, I was wearing my robe and kind of burnt. I make bad decisions when I stay up too late working on my car. I need to just go to bed instead of getting tired and making stupid decisions. It's not the first time I've done it. I got a little burnt. And so, yeah, don't be TIG welding in torch glasses. It doesn't work. I got flash burn, and I spent the next day in the dark and putting drops in my eyes and stuff, and it hurt. And I went to the doctor and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna get a good helmet because my logic was kind of dumb. I was overtired, and my logic wasn't very good. Well, this is a 9, so this should, and I can't hardly see it at all, so this should work. Well, that cheap ass helmet right there is probably set at 9, and it's a 10 and a half, or an 11, and no wonder I couldn't see my puddle, because it's a piece of crap, and I didn't really realize that. And so I'm gonna get a welder. It's gonna be almost 300, or not a welder, a welding helmet that's gonna be almost $300. And I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. Hold on a minute, let me figure that out. Yeah, here it is, Lincoln Viking 3350. I'm gonna get the Hot Rodders one, K440-4. That's supposed to be, from the reviews, a really good helmet, and it'll even get the 5, 6, 7, and 8 shade, not just the 9, 10, 11, and 12 shade. And I guess it's really good for color and stuff. So I got a fly bugging me, so I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna try to find it locally. If I can't get it locally, which I doubt I can get the one I want locally, and then I'm just gonna have to wait for it to come in the mail, which is gonna put off the exhaust. But you know, one thing I've learned from this is that you don't mess around when it comes to your eyes. Eyesight is everything, so no more screwing around trying to make other shit work. You can even see in this camera, you can see my sunburn on my face. Huh. Anyway, back to work, I guess. I installed the fuel line right there, and over here to this Y. I couldn't think of why I needed that fuel bank to be straight or whatever. And then it goes over here, and then I installed this pressure sensor, and I installed a plug right there, and I installed the back seat, because I can't weld, right? So, you know, gotta do something. So I got the seat belts and the side pieces and everything bolted in. I didn't put it on camera because I didn't figure that watching that on Time Warp would be any fun. And right here, it's got a little gap. See? And it's kind of wrinkling it. And I had to cut away at the back has a piece of metal that goes all the way across the back. So I had to cut the back out right there, and then kind of force it in there. I ended up scratching my paint a little bit right there, getting it in. I have to touch that up.
And that's about it. That's all I've really done today. So I got to find some screws because these aren't screwed down. So I got an update. This is the radiator and fans, obviously, and I got it set up here, and that fan hangs over, and so does the other side, and the hole is about 1 inch too small. You can see the line right there. That's the original metal, or the metal from when they cut it. The hole is 11¼ inches, and the fans, blade to blade, end to end, from here to here, is 12. So they're like 12½ inches, including the casing each. So they just don't fit, and I can't find the receipt, so I don't know if I screwed up or they screwed up. So I sent an email and pictures and stuff. I either need a different shot or different fans, and I got a feeling it's going to be different fans, which sucks because those fans put the CFM out that I wanted. And then I put these weld wheels on with the tires. These tires are actually shorter, and the car isn't level. See, that bubble means it's squatting in the back. And so I already raised the springs up a little bit, and I had a couple inches there, an easy couple inches, and now it's squatted just as low as it was with the taller tires because I filled it up with gas. And I'm gonna have to jack it back up, get the weight off the springs, and run the nuts up and raise the back end up some more. And that's quite a big gap, but it's only like 1 inch higher than what a normal car sits, I think. So I might have to cut the springs, or not the springs, but these are coilovers, and well, it's hard to show you because I didn't jack the car up. I'm gonna have to cut the adjustment threads and let it drop down a little bit more. And anyway, I got the fuel. I got the fuel lines ran from the throttle body to the regulator, and I got the sensor installed there. What else did I do? Oh, I think I already might have showed you guys I did the back seat. So that's it. That's all I got done today. So that's the update.